Hey, how's it going everybody? Josh here with Desert Gardens Homestead. So I'm on the east side of my Zone 1 chicken run and coop, and I wanted to share a tree that I have growing out here. This is a pretty unusual tree, and I'm right on the border of the zone for being able to even grow this tree. And I've got two of them here. This one right in front of us is a male tree. And then right to the right of that is the female. These trees are known as Kai apple or key apples. These fruit trees are native to Africa. And I know in some of the villages in Africa, they will use these trees as border trees. The primary reason is if you look at these branches, look how thorny these trees are. And some of these thorns are reaching sizes of about 3 or 4 inches. These trees have been in the ground here since 2017. So we are now in the 6th season, and they have not fruited for me. And actually I've struggled with these trees. The main struggle that I've had with the key apple is with the winters here, and they just have severe dieback each and every winter, and even protecting them for the first 2 or 3 winters really didn't seem to do a whole lot of good. I would put some frost cloth around them, build structures with frost cloth and the old school incandescent Christmas tree bulbs. And this male version, this male tree here, the smaller, this one's reaching heights of about 4 feet. He will die back almost to the very trunk each and every year. And so what we're seeing here is pretty much all this year's growth. And the female as well has pretty severe dieback, but not as substantial as the male. So as you can see, some of that interior growth there made it from last winter, but all the bare needles or pokies that you see, all the spikes are dead wood, and so those were all last year's growth, which I haven't pruned this tree. I'm thinking I might not prune it and just allow it to remain to see if it'll give it any further protection this winter and just see how that does. But this one actually does survive, and I'm just hoping that with time the trunks will get and the branches will get large enough to where it won't have severe dieback. And these are subtropical trees, and so as I said, I'm right on the border here in zone 9A for even being able to have these in the yard and to have them thrive and survive and make it in fruit. And so I'm just hoping with time I will be able to get some fruit out of these trees. And as is, they serve as a good sunblock for the eastern morning sun for the chicken coop. So it gives me some early morning shade, which I enjoy. And also some of the birds here will make a nest in the tree. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a nest in the center of this key apple tree. Then I have a backdrop up against the actual chicken coop itself with some goji berry. So all of that spreading wood that you see in the backdrop there is all goji berry. One thing I did this spring to try to help this male key apple was to plant a loquat right in front of it. So as you can see, this small loquat tree coming up, and it's just coming up right in front of the male key apple. What I'm hoping that will do is once that loquat comes up, it'll give the key apple just a little bit more protection in the winter time. So it'll have the coop behind it, and it'll have the larger female to the north, and then the loquat to the east. And hopefully that'll just give this male key apple a little bit of breathing room in the winter time, allow it to survive the winter without severe dieback. Key apple is reaching heights, the female of about 7 feet. So it is quite large, and I just wish it was a little bit more productive as far as fruit's concerned. And I wish I didn't have so many issues with it in the winter time. I have had thoughts about getting rid of these two, primarily because of the thorns. It's just kind of a pain to prune, and I really don't have a whole lot of use for the wood. And so I usually end up just throwing it into my burn pit. So that's one factor. Another factor is that it just struggles here in the winter, and so there's always substantial dieback, and once again, just no fruit. And so, you know, after 7 years, I've never seen it flower, I've never seen it fruit. The male continuously dies back completely. So I might just give it another year or two, see how it does. But this is one of those issues with pushing the zone, trying to grow something where I'm just kind of on that border. If I was just one zone higher, zone 9B, like Phoenix is, I wouldn't have any issue with growing it. I did purchase this from Seamus O'Leary, who sells quite a bit of tropical fruit trees in the Phoenix area. And he had mentioned to me when I purchased it that if I could get it through a winter or two, then it would do just fine, which the female is, but the male continues to struggle. So this is the key apple, and I really can't say that I've had a whole lot of luck with it, but it is working. It has not been a complete failure, and it's just kind of an unusual fruit tree. And so I guess that's primarily the reason I have it here in the ground. The fruit is said to be very tasty. It's kind of like a tangy apricot. And so that was my main reason on purchasing this tree initially, was after the research I did, that the fruit was very tasty. So I just wanted to share it with you. It's a very drought tolerant plant, which is a big plus. Very, very drought tolerant. I've never seen it have any wilting leaves. It's a very tough tree or plant. It has had 0 issues with any kind of pests or disease. And so it's just been a very strong and vigorous plant in that regard. The only issue I've had with it is its weakness towards cold weather. And so we only get down to lows of 25 here at the very lowest in winter. And I think that anything below freezing for this guy is probably just a little too much. So, but this is the key apple. I'm growing it here in Tucson, Arizona. And it is a subtropical tree, very thorny. And I certainly appreciate you checking out this video. Certainly appreciate you checking out this channel, and I hope you have a great day today. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.